podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Paddock and the Pavilion with me, your host, Stephen Wallace. Today we have a special World Cup cricket podcast with one of our recent guests, Shazia, the captain of the Afghanistan women's team, who inspired us all in episode 225, The Road from Turmoil to Hope. Shazia joined me to chat about her country's most significant victory in their short cricketing history, a 69-run win against the reigning champions England. Afghanistan only played their first World Cup qualifier in 2008. It was a long night for Shazia, now living in Canberra, but one she will never forget. Hello Shazia, welcome back to the Paddock and the Pavilion.
Hi Stephen, thank you so much for having me, and thanks again for giving me the opportunity to talk to you.
Well, it's great to have you back on the show. I had to speak to you again after Afghanistan beat England by 69 runs in the ICC Cricket World Cup. Where were you watching the game?
Yeah, I can't explain my feelings. They played brilliantly, and I was watching game online because unfortunately we had some issue with our TV. So I just requested my brother, if you know how I can watch the game online, so please send me the link. So he sent me the link, and we were able to watch the game. And they played really well. They played great. I'm not the only person who is happy for their victory. All around the world, people were very happy for them, and they were supporting Afghanistan team because of the way they played. Because England is not like a new team, and England was champion of the World Cup 2019. So this was like historical win for them, and they will remember this win and every Afghan for a long time.
Who were you watching the match with? Were you at home with friends?
I was with my family, so I was watching the game with my family, and we were so excited about the game, and they played very well. Like the way should game play, so they played like this. So they were so good in that game.
Let's talk about the game. Afghanistan were put in by England and started really well. You scored 79 off the first 10 overs with Gurbaz scoring. He scored 80 off 57 balls.
Yes, indeed he did, and he played really well. Unfortunately, he got run out, but everyone was saying if Gurbaz were there, so maybe the target would be different. So, but it's cricket; it happens. But the other players, the middle order and the other players that they came for batting, they played also very well. Like Kramali Hill, he did the 50 runs and against England. So this is a huge achievement for them.
Yes, because after that good start, you were 114 for 1. There was a wobble then, and Afghanistan sort of dropped off to 190 for 6. But then players like Ikram, Rashid Khan, a fellow leg spinner, and Mujib all added some quick runs near the end.
Yeah, like as I said, they played very well, and when they got out, like few players, and then everyone was very worried about that, because most of the time it happens like when they lose wicket, so next one is losing wicket, the other one, so everyone was worried, but they kept it very well. They hold on the pitch, and they played every ball in their like their shot selection was very good, so they after that they got some quick runs.
Bowling wise, England just kept losing wickets, and the wickets really were picked up by the Afghanistan spinners Mujib, Rashid and Mohammed Nabi, who seems to have been playing for Afghanistan forever.
Yes. Oh, they were like remarkable. Like the way Mujib took the first wicket, and after the two wickets that they it was so important. Like for Harry Brook and um sorry, I forgot the name of the lefty. That Nabi took the wickets. It was a crucial time for Afghanistan. This was like some target for them to got them out, because if they were stayed in on the pitch, on the crease, so it it would be so hard for Afghanistan to defend the runs.
As a spin bowler yourself, leg spinner, you must have been impressed that the Afghanistan spinners got the wickets.
Yes, of course. So mostly I'm watching Afghanistan boys, like especially spinners, players, video, videos I'm watching, because the way they're bowling, their line and length is so accurate. So they just bowling in the good line and good length. So that's why wicket is coming for them. So accuracy is more important. So they played very well. Mujib, Rashid, and also Nabi in their spin bowling.
And when the game finished, what time was it in Australia? You're in Canberra.
I don't remember exactly, but it was like around morning. So it was almost morning, like maybe 4:30 or 5. I don't remember quite because we were so happy. We were just texting each other that Afghanistan won the game, and everyone was so happy. From Afghanistan, we were receiving messages from our other friends that they were watching the game. So we were so excited at that moment.
And you were then off to work about 2 or 3 hours later.
Yes. And then I was happy because when I got to work, I told everyone that we won the game, and I explained how they played. So they were also happy for that.
Well, I'm sure when you got to work, there was plenty of Australians who would have been pleased having seen England lose.
Yeah, of course. No, no, actually, it's not about the they won against England and England lose. They were happy for Afghanistan that they played very well, because in last World Cup they lost every game, and it was like not like a small achievement for them. It was like a big achievement for Afghanistan that they won the game from the 2019 champions. It was not like something like small game, so everyone were happy for them.
On a wider point, what's the significance of this win to Afghanistan cricket and to the people in Afghanistan?
It's huge because as you know, there was a earthquake in Herat province in Afghanistan. So there were Afghanistan people lost lots of their family members, their children, fathers, mothers, and brothers, and even they didn't know for a long time, for a weeks, that they lost their children, and they weren't able to find them. And it was like a joy for them that they heard about Afghanistan team, that they won the game, and they Afghanistan team also dedicated win dedicated to them, because they knew, and they played in very hard situation. When you know everything is going not well in Afghanistan and in your country, and the people is suffering, and there is lots of tragedies, and it affect the players mindset, and it affect their mentality. So but they played very well, and they gave a little bit joy for Afghanistan and Afghanistan people, that they lost their families, and it was a good joy for them, and it was remarkable, and they dedicated the win to the Herat people, which was very great. And um, we can see that Afghan pain is like everywhere. Like it doesn't matter if I live in Australia or if they are playing in India or they are a great player. It doesn't mean that they don't know about their country. So they still they can understand what's happening in the country. So it was very significant achievement for them and a very great joy.
It makes you proud to be from Afghanistan when you see that result.
Of course, because I believe in my people. They are really strong people. They are very talented people. They have lots of skills in different areas. But the hard luck is they don't have much opportunities, and there is something like even I can't explain why everything is happening with Afghani people. But yes, indeed, they are. They have different skills in different areas, and they. I feel proud when I see them in the international grounds.
It is a remarkable story because, so we mentioned him earlier. Mohammed Nabi was playing for Afghanistan, I think, back in 2008 when they were playing an ICC Division 5 qualifier in Jersey. So they've come such a long way.
Yes, I was watching their documentary back in Afghanistan. I was in school, and the way they started cricket, the way they wanted to make a team and they wanted to go outside the country and show their skills, it was very huge. Like it was inspirational for every youth that they were living in Afghanistan, and still it is, because of because of these boys and these men. Now Afghanistan has really good cricket in country, and they have very good team that right now they're playing.
And I know when we spoke on our previous podcast, episode 225, you were in agreement that the men should continue playing, even though, unfortunately, the women are not allowed to play at the moment.
Yes, indeed. I said yes that they should play, and I will say again, yeah, they should play because everyone can see their skills and everyone can see their abilities, that they are good players and they're capable of to do games with the good and great teams. Because in Afghanistan, everyone is struggling. It doesn't matter you are man or woman, but still the majority of struggling is going to the women's side. But if I say no, men shouldn't play, it could be a selfish decision, because they also deserve the they also deserve what we want for ourselves. So we I really proud of them, and I will support them. And yeah, they should play because they are a great team, and they. If we say human beings, so men are also human beings. So as I said, there was a tragedy in Afghanistan, and they won a game. They won a. They received a great victory against England, and they gave a joy to their nation. So this is a great thing, because in Afghanistan we don't have much happiness. So always there is some, like, all the day there is a sad news, and when we hearing the good news, which is a great thing. So yes, they should play.
Well, let's hope one day the women and yourself will be able to play for Afghanistan.
um um uh if I say this was my biggest dream, yes, it was, because when I was in school, this was my only dream, that we should make our women's team and we should play like boys with other countries. And cricket is not like taekwondo, boxing, or some other sports that you can play just by yourself. Because I was very keen to play cricket for my country, but I was the only person, and I wasn't able to play cricket by myself, because you have to have team. So we worked hard, and there's something else happened, as you know. and then we split in Australia. Like we left our country and everything. Hopefully, if there is one day that woman would be able to play for Afghanistan, so I will be the first person should say, yeah, yes, I want to play for them, because there's lots of things that women should realize and to do in their life.
But you have been playing cricket now back in Australia for Eastlake, and I think you've had, is it one game so far in your season?
Yes, so we played just one game last weekend. So our next game would be tomorrow. We won our first game, which was I think we had a great win against our opposite team. So I can say it was a good start for us. So um, we'll see what will happen in next games.
How did you go yourself? Did you get runs and wickets?
Yes, I did 4 overs with 5 runs, 2 midden, and 1 wicket, which is good bowling. And I did 30. I made 37 runs as well with 40 balls.
Oh, but you're very modest.
Yeah.
And we must get Carly mentioned because she was on your podcast before. How was Carly's wicket keeping?
Oh yeah, she's doing well. But last game she didn't wicket keeping. So we had another wicket keeper for that game. But she's our captain now, and she's supporting every person very well. And she's just making sure everyone gets opportunity to show their skills. And yeah, and she also batted really well. She's a very good player.
So did you get a chance to bat with Carly then last weekend?
Oh yes, I did. Yes, I did. We played for like so they started, and then one down I went to the crease. So I did batting with the Carly, and unfortunately then Carly got out, and then I continued with another player.
But you're really looking forward to the season ahead, though.
Yes, I'm really positive for this season, because this is really important for me. As I said in my last podcast, it is challenging for us, for people like us, to show our skills, and to just show, like, to, like, there is nothing like if you can tell them that I was like that, and I was a captain of my team, but still they are not like something. You have to do more, like they believe you, or you have to show them like some numbers to recognize you. So this season is really important for me, as I was second highest wicket taker in last season. But still this season is very important for me, that I want to do good in the batting. I'm very good bowler, I believe in that. And they can see my bowling as well. But with the bowling, I'm a good batter as well. But sometimes, as you know, it's cricket, so some great batsmen or batswomen, they're unlucky in crease, so they can't go farther. But I want to do great in both sides. So this season is really important for me, and hopefully, I hear something from the Cricket ICT at the end of the season or at the middle of the season, because they have some games. They made few teams that they are playing. Women's are playing between two teams, but I'm looking forward to. They also recognize my talent and recognize the numbers that I'm taking from the games. So hopefully, this would be a great achievement for me as well.
You must by now have got settled of playing in Australia with the different conditions, the wickets and everything else, and playing with other Australian cricketers.
Yeah. So I can say, like, this season I started very well. Like compared to last season, I was like I was not much familiar with the players and with the conditions and with everything. But right now, I'm feeling very comfortable and very confident, and especially with my team. And last game that we played last weekend, so my teammates gave me um middle not middle name, how we can say, sorry,
Nickname.
um nickname, yes,
Yeah.
nickname. So they calling me Zinga. So she said, okay, if you like the Zinger nickname, so we will call you Zinger from now on. I said, if my team likes this name, so yes, definitely I like that name. So they gave me a nickname. So it's like getting better like every time, because when you start at first, so you're a bit shy, or maybe or you don't know about the environment and culture. So it's getting really better.
Certainly help your performance when you feel more relaxed, doesn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And like as I said, there is a challenges, but still I have like some people around me that they're encouraging me and they're giving me positive energy, especially when I um, got introduced with the Canberra Cricket Academy head coach. His name is Masood Rahman. He's from Bangladesh. He has a academy, and he's a great coach. So when I started training with him off the season, so he sees me, and he gave me a very positive opinion, and he told me, just do what you are capable of. So I'm really grateful for having these people around me. As I said, there is the challenges, but there is still positive things that it gives me a courage and inspiration to move on and to do what I'm capable of.
Well, thank you again. I'm going to call you Zinger there. Thank you very much, Shazia, for being on the show. The very best of luck for the rest of the season. Hopefully catch up with you again sometime. And also to Afghanistan in the World Cup. I know they've lost against New Zealand since, but there's quite a few games left in the competition, and hopefully they'll pick up another win or two.
Hopefully, we will pray for them, and hopefully they show their talents, and hopefully they don't do the mistakes that they made against New Zealand, because they dropped the catches. Because we are saying like catches win the matches, so it is very important. So there was lots of opportunities for them to get the winning against New Zealand as well, but still it happens. But hopefully they win upcoming games.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Stephen.
This fall, stream your favorites and discover more with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus together. Watch the highly anticipated new season of Loki and see the ghosts materialize in Haunted Mansion on Disney Plus. Catch more frights with The Boogeyman and American Horror Story Delicate on Hulu. And on ESPN Plus, get into the action with college football and NFL. All of these and more streaming now. Get the Disney Bundle with plans starting at $9.99 a month. Plans with ESPN Plus starting at $14.99 a month. Terms apply. See DisneyBundle.com for details.
If you missed episode 225, The Road from Turmoil to Hope, in this short clip, Shazia talks about the challenges as a woman of playing cricket in Afghanistan.
It was so challenging playing cricket in Afghanistan. For every player that they love to play for their country and to have some achievement, because there was not just like community ideas or the mindset that they had and that they have, but there was security problem, and even we were receiving phone calls that we have to stop what we are doing, and we don't have to go and to do some work, and we don't have to do cricket. And the only thing that we just changing our SIM card and numbers, and we were just moving on. and it was so hard. Even when we wanted to go out from home, we didn't tell anyone that where we are going and what we are going to do. And most of the girls, their relatives didn't know what they doing in sports or not. They just knew about they're doing some study, but not sports, especially cricket.
You can follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google and Spotify. Please give us a rating and review. Let your friends know about us and subscribe to the podcast. 8 days later, Afghanistan defeated former winners Pakistan. Another long night for Shazia, who joined me to discuss her country's comprehensive 8-wicket win. Hello again, Shazia. I just had to hear your thoughts on Afghanistan's second win, this time against Pakistan by 8 wickets. Another late night for you. Early morning.
Yes. Hi, Stephen, again. And yes, it was late night, and I was watching the game until, like, even when the teams celebrated and they were running and appreciating the crowd as well. So I watched the game with my family, and it was incredible.
You must have been tired when you got to work the next morning or the same day.
Actually, I didn't go to work because in the morning I had to take my father to the doctor. So I called in sick because of my father as well. So, and there was a joy of the game, and then I didn't go to work. But I discussed this with my teammates and with my other friends that Afghanistan won the game.
Everything was all right with work because you were taking your father to the doctors?
Yeah, everything is all right. Yeah, my father was feeling a bit sick in the past few days, few weeks. Yeah, but everything is fine.
I don't want to get you into trouble with work.
No, all good. They know.
Talking about the game, though, we were talking off air about the slow bowlers that Afghanistan have got. Everyone knows about Rashid Khan, but Majib's only 22, Noor Ahmed's only 21. He got 3 for 49. As a leg spinner yourself, we mustn't forget Mohammed Nabi, but he's a young 38. You must be pleased with all the slow bowlers.
I was pleased actually with the all performance that they played. They did very well in all formats, like in fielding, in batting, in bowling. So everyone did their own job in a good way, and they had very good plan, and they were very positive, and they were very calm, and they were playing very well, especially slower bowler, especially Noor Ahmad, who took the very important wickets. If they were on the crease, so maybe the game would be changed. But no doubt he's a youngster, and he's a great bowler. And I think playing in IPL with Rashid Khan, it helped him a lot to play under pressure, and how to play when there is lots of crowd and there's lots of thing happening. So I think it was good experience with the Noor Ahmad, because he played with Rashid Khan, and Rashid Khan, as everyone knows, he's a player that he played in different kind of situations, and he played lots of cricket. So he was he played a really important role in the past game. Also Mujib, Rashid, and Nabi as well. So Nabi took 1 wicket, but he didn't give much runs to the opposite team, which was great. And the first wicket, when Omar Zaid took, it was also brilliant.
And Rashid Khan, being a leg spinner, do you watch him carefully when he's bowling?
Yeah, of course. So I think everyone admires Rashid Khan and the way he bowls, because his accuracy is very good, and the way he's bowling, and I watched lots of videos of Rashid Khan because he's always saying that I'm thinking about the batters, what's going on in his mind and what he's thinking, so he's doing opposite of the better mindset. So yes, I'm watching him very well. Also, beside Rashid Khan, I'm watching Mujib and Nur Ahmad, and because they're also slow bowler, and the accuracy and the way they're bowling, it's important for a slow bowler.
And when you worked at the cricket board in Afghanistan, you met some of the players.
Yes, indeed, I did. They were, if they were in the country, so they sometimes they were coming to the Afghanistan Cricket Board, and we were able to see them in the Afghanistan Cricket Board. Yeah, I almost see every player, Afghani players.
Talking about young players, then the two openers, we mentioned Gurbaz earlier in the podcast, but he scored 65. Ibrahim, they're both 21. Ibrahim scoring 87. And this is against Shaheen Shah Afridi, Haris Ralph, and Hassan Ali.
Yeah, this is the most important thing. Like, Pakistan is not like some other teams that if we say no, they don't have like much experience or they don't have quality players. They do have quality batters and bowlers. So playing against players like Afridi, Haris Rauf, Hassan Ali, and the slower bowlers, Shadab and Osman, it is not an easy thing. And the way our openers started batting, it was incredible. And the way they helped the team, the way they gave a good score to the rest of the team, it was incredible. And it gives positive energy and positivity to the players that they are waiting in the pavilion. So this was the great help for the team, the way Ibrahim and Gurba started, and the way Rahmat Shah and captain himself defend and chase the runs. Um, it was like they played like very technically, because at the end of the game when Babar Azam sending players to the boundaries, but they said that's okay. I'm not gonna hit the four and sixes that much. I will go with the easy runs. For one and two runs is, which was very good, and it was a very good plan. The way Rahmacha and um, Hashmatullah Shahidi captain played.
Yeah, some very intelligent batting. A big chase as well. There were 283 to win the game.
Yes, it is. Most of the people they were doubting Afghanistan with the chasing the runs, and they were thinking Afghanistan is not the team that they can chase a target, and the target that Pakistan set for Afghanistan, it was not easy target. It was a tough target, but this is the sign for every team that they right now they're playing in World Cup, that Afghanistan is not just a team that they can sometimes they can win or sometimes they can lose. They have the ability, they have the talent, and they have eager to win the game. So they have to they don't have to underestimate Afghanistan team, because Pakistan is not the small team. And the way Afghanistan played and the way Afghanistan chased the runs, it was incredible.
Yeah, you've now beaten two former World Cup champions. What was it like in your house watching the game?
It was like something the dreams come true, because Afghani were waiting for this victory for a long time, and no one had dream about the winning, the way that we win game, because it was winning against a team like Pakistan. Um, in that stage, it is not an easy and a small thing. So everyone was so happy, and they were like joyful, even though if some people were not in Afghanistan. People in Afghanistan enjoyed the game really well, and they were so happy, and they were celebrating. I think there was some different kind of joy in all over the country.
Have you had chance to contact some of the people in Afghanistan about the game?
Yeah, I did, and I saw the stories and the posts that they posted on the social medias, and the messages that they were receiving, and we were chatting about the game, how they won the game, and I think there was a daytime in Afghanistan, I guess, or I'm not sure, but lots of people like me and in some other countries, they watch the game online, and they sit for a whole night, and they were watching ball by ball, and they were just waiting to celebrate the victory.
And were you watching online this time or on the television?
I was watching on television with my family, but when the night go late, so my parents went to sleep, and me with my sister watched the whole game.
So you managed to stay up until the end and they sneaked off to bed.
Yes, yeah. We watched the whole game, and it was worth it.
But another famous victory for Afghanistan, it must mean so much to the people from Afghanistan who live in Afghanistan and all around the world.
Yeah, it meant a lot for every Afghani, because when we had a game with Pakistan, so it was not a easy win for Afghanistan all the time, but still we lost many games against Pakistan, and the big thing was like the way the players played, and the way batters control the situation, and the way they played high quality bowlers. It was proud moment for everyone, because it shows like they have a capability to play against high quality teams, and I can see that, and in upcoming few years there will be another team like high performance team like India in the Asian countries. So no doubt about that.
Yeah, I don't think other international sides will take Afghanistan for granted anymore, because a lot of the time we think of Afghanistan and we just think of Rashid Khan, but there's a lot more to Afghanistan than Rashid Khan.
Indeed, there is lots of players. There is lots of talents in our team, and also there is lots of other young players that they're practicing, and they're continuing their cricket journey, and they're hoping to come to the national level. So Afghanistan is full of talent. They just need opportunity. They just need to good guidance, and they need good people to have around them.
Talking about the rest of the tournament, then Afghanistan have got 4 games to play, and the next 2 games they play Sri Lanka and the Netherlands. More chances of wins in the World Cup.
Um, I think everyone will hope that they win against Netherlands and Sri Lanka. But let's say it's a cricket, so maybe it turned. Uh, who knows? But if they play the way they played with Pakistan, so no doubt, they can win these games. But beside Netherlands and Sri Lanka, we have like two other teams which is more talented, and they're strong players, South Africa and Australia. This would be very tough games for them. But if they believe on themselves, they can do. They can play a more quality cricket.
Yes, Afghanistan play Australia on the 7th of November. That'll be an interesting game for you living in Canberra.
Yeah, it will be, yes, like it will be interesting game. So you will be just watching how they're playing, and you would be like almost supporting both teams. It will be interesting game, but we'll see what will happen.
But from a neutral myself, it's great for the game of cricket, that the rise of Afghanistan.
Yeah, it is. So as I said, they're very hard work players, and they're working really hard on themselves to develop their skills and to set themselves more in cricket and in the situation. And there is lot of things coming in the way, but they have to, and I'm sure they are prepared for these all things.
Well, Shazia, thanks again for joining me on the podcast for this addition to the original podcast I've done, and for staying up to speak to me. Thanks very much.
No worries. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me a time.
In her second game of the season, Shazia took 3 wickets and scored 26 not out to help Eastlake to an easy victory. I hope to follow Shazia's progress during the season and chat to this inspiring young woman again on the Paddock and the Pavilion.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Taking charge of your future starts with taking the first steps. And saving up to $30 a month on Cox Internet with the Affordable Connectivity Program makes those steps easy to take. Whether they bring you to click upload on your first short film or join now for an online book club. Applying is easy. See if you qualify at cox.com/ACP. Non-transferable 1 per household application and eligibility decisions are made by the FCC.